A huge thank you and a round of applause to all of you because you hit the pause button on life's endless to-do list and chose to join us for this extemporaneous comedy show organized by our very own fun club. Some people follow the safe path. Priya Mehta chose the courageous one. After a successful career in finance in Atlanta, she walked away from security and certainty to pursue a dream in entertainment, moving to Los Angeles in 2020 at the height of COVID pandemic. It was a bold leap into the unknown, fueled by resilience, determination, and unwavering self-belief. Today, Priya wears many hats with remarkable grace. She is a stand-up comedian who fills rooms with laughter. She has opened for the acclaimed comedians like Jharna Garg, Nimesh Patel, and Akash Singh. She is also a Bollywood choreographer, an accomplished master of ceremonies, and a commercial actor featured in campaigns for brands like Microsoft Copilot, 365, and Yelp. Whether hosting a spectacular destination wedding in Goa or choreographing unforgettable Bollywood performances, she brings energy, creativity, and heart to every stage. On July 2nd, Priya just produced and performed in her very first comedy show at the iconic Broadway Comedy Club. Yet, her greatest achievement isn't applause, it is her purpose. Priya says, the biggest compliment I can receive is that I am funny. My goal is to make someone smile, make someone laugh, and leave them feeling better about themselves. We never know the silent struggles people are carrying, so I simply try to uplift them. She reminds us that when passion meets courage, dreams become reality, and that sometimes making the world smile is the greatest success of all. Please join me in welcoming a woman who is spreading light, love, laughter, and hope, one smile at a time. Priya Mehta.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? It is so good to be here. By the way, I did not tell her to write any of that. That was amazing. She did her own research. I feel like you encapsulated everything. I don't even need to be up here right now. That was amazing. What a beautiful introduction. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone's good?
Yes.
So, my parents just moved here a few months ago, and I don't know if any of you have already met them or not, but I wanted to introduce them because I'm here because of them today. My beautiful parents, Pradeep and Kruti Mehta. I'm sure if you've met my dad already, he loves to talk. That's where I get it from. He'll tell you about my life story, my mom's life story, cricket, food, whatever you want. So if you've met him, you already know everything about me. But no, it is really good to be here. It's interesting, when my parents said they were going to be joining a retirement community, I was kind of worried. I was just imagining rocking chairs and people doing crossword puzzles and going to sleep before the evening news. And then I came here. And I was like, this is not a retirement community. This is a resort. A full-on resort for seniors. You guys are living your best lives over here. I am amazed at all the clubs you guys have. You guys have the Chinese club, the fun club, the Italian club, the women's club, the men's club. You have your own groups. You have your groups within your groups. You have the kitty parties. You have the gossips. The evening walks. I know. I've seen it. I've seen it. It's crazy. It's awesome. I feel like if you haven't found your people yet, you're the problem. Because there's just so much to do here. And it's really exciting to be here. Also, I love the activities. I saw the Bollywood dance that all the women put on. My mom joined that. That's amazing. As a dancer, that made me very excited because next time I come, I want to join. You guys have paint and sip classes. You guys have karaoke. And if you've been to karaoke recently, you've seen my dad belt his heart out. He's sing so many songs.
That's an understatement.
Everyone here is so busy. I feel like now my parents have more of an active life than I do. I used to be able to call my mom up randomly and she'd pick up whenever. Now, I get a text. Sorry, mahjong. Like, I haven't even played mahjong. I don't even know what that is. But I love it. You guys are living a whole renewed life here. And it's really great to be here. It was actually very emotional, moving out of our childhood home that we had for 30 years. And I was emotional and, I asked my parents, how do they feel? My mom moved on faster than any of my ex-boyfriends. She was like, I don't miss the new house at all. I'm like, well, that's amazing. I thought retirement always meant slowing down, but you guys are booked solid. I came here expecting to cheer my parents up, and now I'm worried about myself. A little bit about me. I'm in my 30s, unmarried, no kids, only child. I can see the judgment in the room already. There's a reason my parents' blood pressure is very high, so be nice to them, okay? And like Swatyati said, I was actually in finance for 10 years, and then quit to become a full-time creative, and people were like, oh, why did you finance? And I was like, oh, for my passion of money. I was deeply passionate about direct deposit and stability, but now I'm living a creative life. I do a mix of comedy, acting, I teach dance, I create content, and I can honestly say, I miss the money. I really do. They say money can't buy happiness, but I see how you guys are living freely and traveling the world. But no, it's great. I feel like I've been in LA now for 6 years, but I was born and raised here in Plainsboro. Do we have any Plainsboro people here? West Windsor? Hightstown? I also feel like I know a lot of people here tonight. I know, because with a lot of Indians, obviously Indians know each other. I know Ashanti. She was my neighbor from back in the day in Ashford Drive. Now she's here. Her daughter used to babysit me, and now her and my mom are best friends. Is Vinny's mom here, Sonia auntie? Yeah? Yep, I've partied with your daughter Vinny. Are Neeraj Parik's parents here? No? I've partied with Neeraj Parik. Are Jyotsna and Kalpana auntie here? Bobo Masi and Kapi Masi here? No? You don't know Jenny Patel and Suraj? Okay, well, maybe I didn't know. I thought there were a lot more people that were coming. I see a lot of Gujaratis here. Where are my Gujaratis at? Game Cho, Majama, Jai Shri Krishna, JSK. Where are my Punjabis at? Oh, I see you guys came to party. I already see the drinks. I love it. I absolutely love it. Where are the South Indians at? Okay, a couple of you humble, quiet, subdued. Love that. What about the Maharashtrians? Hey! Love to see it. Love the energy. Love the vibes. It's electric here. I love it. I love it. It's interesting. I had no idea. We obviously joke about how cheap Gujaratis are, and I don't know if you know this. Oh, we know. Every show I produce, I will always get the Gujaratis messaging me, asking me for discount codes. I admire your passion to be cheap. I really do. It's amazing. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that, all Gujarati parents, they get their sons circumcised. Do you know this? Yes. All Gujarati parents get their sons circumcised because they know that Gujarati girls won't accept anything unless it's 20% off. You love that discount? We really do. But it's so great to see parents now now living this renewed life. One of my friend's uncles recently, he got a tattoo. And I was like, oh wow, it was a tattoo on his wrist. It said MD. And his wife's name is Monisha Desai. So I was like, Uncle, I'm so proud that you got a tattoo with your wife's initials. He said, oh no, this is for Madhuri Dixit. I can tell my wife, I loved Madhuri before I loved her. And I was like, judging by that tattoo, I think you still do. But it's been great. I've been traveling a lot this year. I had a lot of Indian weddings. I have 8 weddings this year, 7 of which are Indian. And I love going to Indian weddings. I love the food and the dancing and the Indian outfits until it's time to take these outfits off. Because sometimes it can turn into a near-death experience. Ladies, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because some of these outfits don't have any hooks, no zippers, no respect for human anatomy. For those of you who don't know, let me paint you a picture. You come back to your hotel room after an event, you're sweaty, you're bloated from the eating and the dancing, and you go to take your outfit off, and it's not moving. So now you have to start getting your whole body involved, right? You start jumping, you start wiggling. You look like one of those inflatable flailing poop guys at gas stations where you're just like... And then finally, you get it to a point where it's a little bit above your head. Oh, wait. I think I turned my mic off. And... Got it. Finally, you get your outfit just a little bit above your head, and now you are fully trapped in your outfit because your head is covering your neck hole, and now you can't breathe, so you have to ask your friend or your mom to do it. She has to tell you to stay right across the bed, hold her arms out. You look like Superman having a seizure. You're like this. While she yanks it off, it's okay. She sees your boobs. It's fine. It's not sexual. It's a rescue mission at this point. I feel like every Indian has seen 14 emergency boobs when you take an outfit off. That's how people bond at weddings, just Indian outfit extractions. You text your mom, like, I'm never wearing this outfit again. She's like, Geetati, what is that outfit from India? I'm like, I don't even care about Geetati. She doesn't even know how big my boobs are. Just put a zipper in it, get a tailor. Shout out to all the moms here, or the moms. Moms night out, yeah? Yes. I feel like, moms, it's interesting. I love how you like to be modern and keep up with the lingo, but sometimes I don't think you know what some of these terms mean because, for example, my mom, instead of hanging out, she says hooking up. Those do not mean the same things. She'll be like, oh yeah, your cousin said that, we should hook up with him. Take him to the park, hook up, take him to the movie theaters, bring him home, hook up with him at home. I'm like, ew mom, we're not Muslim. Listen, I'm Hindu, but for Zoran Mandani, I will convert to Islam. Assalamualaikum, inshallah. It was a roller coaster with him because at first when I saw him, I was like, oh, I love this man. It had been so long since we've seen a politician who's young, who's smart, who's creative, who's sweet, who cares about the people. And I was ready. I was like, I feel like, with Muslims, there's some flexibility options. I feel like Muslim men can have multiple wives. So I was ready to be a second wife. But then I saw some of his interviews and I was in awe of, how amazing he is when he articulates, right? Because speeches, they can be rehearsed, but, interviews, random conversation, off the cuff, casual, every answer of his is thoughtful, it's nuanced, it's perfect. And now, if me and him were in a relationship and we got into an argument, who do you think's gonna win? Not me! Because the women we have to win all these arguments, right? I feel like with him, even if he was valid, he would still be right? He'd be like, Priya, listen, I know, because he always smiles all the time. He's like, I know that you have an annoyance with me leaving my socks on the floor. But did you ever consider how much hair is in the bathroom? And I'll be like, you're right, of course. Definitely so, can't move on for that. I can love him from a distance, but it's okay, it's fine. I think finding love, it's tough, when you're dating, you get older, and there's so much baggage you have, so many weird things you have to explain about yourself. For example, for me, I have the weirdest allergies. I'm allergic to walnuts, almonds, pecans, carrots, cherries. God literally said, trail mix, not for you. And it's interesting, my doctor, I don't need to look at EpiPen or anything. My throat starts to scratch, I get hives around my mouth. I turn into Will Smith from Hitch, where I'm just like, very attractive. And the doctor was like, yeah, there's a term for it. It's called oral allergies. You have oral allergies. And I was like, I'm never gonna use that term unless I want to cock block myself. Can you imagine on a date and the waiter's like, oh, any allergies? And I'm like, oh, just oral. Just a little irritation around my mouth. Never gonna find someone that way. But I do also think, I feel like after watching the Knicks win the championships, after watching the World Cup, I've realized something about men. That they are capable of having emotions. They're just selectively emotional about sports. And my dad was a prime example of this. Anytime it's my mom's birthday, my wedding, or my parents' wedding anniversary, and I ask him to write a card for her, he's like, you know me. I don't know how to write the sentimental things. But the second India starts losing the Cricket World Cup, this man turns into Shakespeare. He's on Facebook like, today, we witnessed heartbreak. Not just a loss, but the collapse of a nation's spirit. Kohli tried, Rohit tried, and so did I. But I will always bleed blue for my country. All my mom got was, happy anniversary, regards, Pradeep. I'm like, oh, not the regards, Dad. Come on. I also love how unfiltered he is. He's a big foodie. And it's interesting, no matter where we go, whether it's a restaurant or even somebody's house, he'll grade the meal in front of the chef like a savage. We'll literally be eating and he'll be like, oh, bahut maja aa gayi. This is great, B-. I'm like, B-? First of all, in the Indian culture, if it's not an A, that's a fail. And B- partly means we're in the kitchen cooking all day. But to be fair, my mom's cooking has gotten better and better throughout the years. So I don't know if it's just that or her angry cooking in the kitchen, like, I'll show you B-. It's also interesting, I feel like my dad, he's been going to PT, physical therapy recently, and before he used to not really be involved in it, he didn't really want to go, he was just going to go. And then finally, he's a big Bollywood music fan. And so his PT caught on to that and got him to finally participate in breathing exercises with incorporating Bollywood music. For example, now when he walks in, he plays Duniya mein logo ko dhoka kabhi ho jata hai. And he's like, now, I love breathing exercises. Or, if he's not in the mood to come, they'll play Aja Aja, main hu pyar tera. You'll get right into it. Get right in the groove. It's great. But yeah, let's see what else I have here. I also think it's interesting, if there's one person that's super excited for me to find love, it's my mom. To the point where she'll get excited about any kind of situation that happens. For example, a year ago, there was a guy on an electric scooter, and he came and he ran into me on the sidewalk. And so he was nice enough to, go take me to the urgent care, take care of me, and I called my mom, and I told her how some guy hit me, and she goes, him? So you met someone? I'm like, Mom, he didn't sweep me off my feet, he knocked me off my feet. And she was like, oh, you know those romantic comedies where an accident happens, but it turns into something more? Meanwhile, I'm getting my bare butt bandage, and my mom's at home singing, Kuchu Kuchu Hota Hai, planning our wedding. I'm wondering if I need stitches, and she's wondering if he's a doctor. Which he wasn't. It was LA. He was a tattoo artist. Oh, man. But I will say that, with my parents and your generation, I feel like you guys lived the best generation, right? I feel like you guys did, and millennials. Do we have any millennials here tonight? No, I'm the only one. Well, that makes sense. But I do feel like with our generations, we were kind of like the older siblings of society, right? We were rough, we were tough. We went through so many changes when it came to technology and music and how we watch TV and how we watch movies. And meanwhile, these Gen Zers have everything so easy, right? Everything is just off their phone. And I do think that for us, we were the rough and tough older siblings of society, and Gen Zers are the younger siblings of society, where they copy everything we do, but they inject their trauma into it. For example, I don't know if you remember, but we had, for stuffed animals, we had Beanie Babies growing up, right? You remember Beanie Babies? You probably bought them for your kids, right? Cute, creative, cuddly. What do Gen Zers have these days? They have Labubus. I don't know if you've seen a Labubu, but it looks like if you took anxiety and turned it into a personality. I was like, no wonder these things are generating billions of dollars, and now I understand why. It's because these Gen Zers are looking at these stuffed animals, and they're like, oh, that's how we feel about the world. And it's these stuffed animals that are just like this. They look like this. It's so crazy. Millennials, we had Build-A-Bear. Gen Zers, this is their Breakdown a Bear. We had sayings like live, laugh, love. Gen Zers over here like live, laugh, Lexapro. Very traumatic, always anxious, always nervous. And even with their lingo. I don't know if you guys, are you familiar with the Gen Z lingo and the terminology? It sounds absolutely ridiculous. I feel like it's like when they speak, it sounds like gibberish with confidence. You know what I mean? It's giving cognitive decline. I will say some of it though is weirdly creative. I feel like there's a term called trekking. Do you guys know this? No. It's where you date somebody that's not as attractive in hopes that they treat you better. And I was like, did they just rebrand settling? I feel like women have been trekking this whole time. Where I see so many of my girls with these ugly guys, and I'm like, oh, no wonder, that makes sense. Or, for example, instead of doing cocaine, they call it going skiing. I had no idea. I was talking to this guy, and he was telling me about how him and his friends went skiing all weekend in Miami. I'm like, oh my goodness, global warming must be worse than I thought. That's crazy. And also, speaking of global warming, I think they need to rebrand the term global warming and climate change to make it sound as scary as it is, right? Because global warming sounds a little cozy, right? It needs to be called like global boiling, right? Or global meltdown. Climate change sounds mild. It needs to be called climate catastrophe or climate chlamydia. It's burning, it's spreading, and nobody wants to take the blame. I feel like that'd be a lot better. I was just reflecting back on when I was younger, my parents would organize gatherings, and they'd meet all my friends, and they'd meet all my friends' parents. And at first I thought it's because they were really social. But then I realized it's because they wanted to audit my friends and pick out the ones that were probably going to be the most successful and tell me which ones to hang out with them, right? So my dad would be like, yeah, Anusha's dad went to Yale. So you should be hanging out with Anusha. Divya's parents drink too much. You shouldn't be hanging out with Divya. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to get to know some of you all and play some fun games and get your backstories and ask you some questions about how long you've been married and when's the first time you met your spouse. And so in order to start that off, I wanted to call my dad up, and he can tell you guys the story about him and how he met his mom and how he met my mom. So please welcome my dad to the stage.
Give a big hand to Priya.
So thanks for inviting me and
compel me to embarrass myself. Certainly like to share with you my story when I met my wife for the first time. It goes back to November 30, 1982. And I'm sure that all of you remember how you met your spouse for the first time and what were the circumstances. Mine is somewhat dramatic, and I should say very self-deprecating. So feel free to laugh on me. I've been married for 43 years, so I couldn't care less. So I came to USA in 1977. I did my graduation in Mumbai, Vijaycha, and then went to Georgia Tech. Just like all of you. Yeah. It's on? All right. Can everyone hear me at the back? Yeah. Can everyone hear? Okay. So, I got my green card back in 1982 and wrote to my dad that, I'm coming over. So, just like everyone else, he put an ad in our Gujarati Mumbai Samachar that, hey, maro saputra આવે છે, ઉચ્ચ પદવી ધરાવે છે, ગ્રીન કાર્ડ ધરાવે છે, અને સુશીલ કન્યા નજર પડવું છે. As a Sushil Kanya, yeah, tell me about it, right? So, when I got down to the airport, I was expecting like a bouquet of flowers. Instead of that, I got a file folder from my dad, which is a list of all the girls who were kind of interested. So, in Trupti's case, it was kind of unique. In Trupti's case, what happened was her brother, my brother-in-law, responded to the ad, and he wrote me a very nice letter introducing Trupti to me. Well, she's convent educated, she's also working, she has 3 sisters, 2 are doctors. It's a well-educated family. So I wanted somebody to proficient in English, so she's convent educated, she's working. So I got very interested. I called her brother right away. I said, I would like to meet your sister. So we decided on a kind of intermediary. She lives in Santa Cruz, I live near San Chunapati. So we decided to meet at Dadar. There's a Jyoti vegetarian restaurant. And we decided to meet at 8 p.m. Now what happened was, it was very hot. And so instead of wearing shoes, I wore chappals because I wanted ventilation in my life. But I'm seeing a girl, so I have to wear my jacket. So I have a jacket with chappals on. And I went by USA time, 7:45, I was there 50 minutes early. My Tutti and her brother and her sister, I went by myself. I told my parents that, hey, if there's interest, we'll go further. So she came with her sister and brother, and as soon as she got down from the car, she saw me. I was combing my hair, and the first look she sees, I'm in a chappal, and I was wearing my jacket. So her reaction was, tell brother, hey, let's go back. This guy is so bum, he has no sense of dress. So, brother say, well, you come all the way. Why don't you just talk to him? And you can always say no after that. Well, the worst mistake she did, she listened to her brother. And she decided to talk to me. The rest is history. Kaisa fasaya, right? First gaya sara. So as a matter of fact, I was doing some work in Middle East, so I generally would take a drop at Mumbai. So I was there a few years ago. And it was November 30, so I took my nephew with me. I did a reenactment of the scene. I wore jacket, I wore chappal, and I waited. And then my nephew took me a picture, and I wrote a story on my Facebook. I'm a big blogger on Facebook. And believe me, of all the stories I have written, that story got the maximum likes and maximum comments. And comment was, why did you select it? So that's my story. I'm sure some of you would like to share it. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.
And look at him today. See how he's dressed
Look at that.
today.
He's wearing shoes today.
Shoes on. Shoes on.
I love it.
I'm learning.
Yes, you're learning. Does anyone have any interesting stories about when they first met their spouse?